Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. I'm very interested in hearing how we can ensure and strengthen the predictability of the approval process for the over-the-counter drugs. Mr. Menzel, first, I want to highlight the strong presence that the over-the-counter product manufacturers have in the great state of New Jersey. These are several companies headquartered in the state, and even more who have manufacturing and development presence there. These companies not only spur innovation nationwide, but they provide jobs and livelihoods in New Jersey. I often highlight the great work done by prescription drug companies in New Jersey, but I do want to acknowledge the innovation that your member companies produce. We see these products on store shelves every day, and we use them to help our kids feel better in their childhood years. So I want to thank this New Jersey industry for its wonderful work. My questions. First, can you explain how the OTC user fee program, established by Congress in 2020, has helped drive innovation and growth in your industry, especially in New Jersey? And second, what pitfalls should Congress avoid as it moves to reauthorize the program for the first time?
The guidance that was given by OMUFA, which many members of this committee were critical to getting approved initially, provides for predictability and allows for that predictability allows for innovation. I was actually a part in a previous life a number of years ago of one of those fine New Jersey companies before starting my own company, and I can say that having a structure and a framework that OMUFA provides, that the Monograph system provides, allows for that innovation. I think some of the issues that you asked on how to improve, some of that is timing. Reauthorization of OMUFA 2 would allow for some of the infrastructure that's been put in place to be capitalized on, but then additional transparency from the FDA in terms of timing and publication of notices, et cetera, as we've mentioned, is also critical for success over the next 5 years.
Thank you. On a separate topic, I also serve on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, so I'm aware that many industries have global supply chains, even as they are currently trying to move more of these supply chains to the United States. Could you give me an update on the exposure that OTC product supply chain has abroad and what Congress can do to strengthen that supply chain?
Yeah, it's an important issue. It's an important issue in terms of safety. It's an important issue for us to make sure that we don't run out of stock if there are issues in terms of the supply chain. I will say for us personally, we have initiated a pretty large investment in Georgia to increase onshore manufacturing for some of our products. We also have 2 products that we just initiated a technology transfer from Canada into the U.S. To increase U.S. manufacturing. And so, both of those items are not unique to us. Within the Consumer Healthcare Products Association and a poll of members, the majority of products are actually already manufactured in the United States. A key aspect of consumer products is transparency in pricing. I have products that sell for $4 or $5 a bottle. I can't just all of a sudden decide to charge the consumer $100, for that same bottle. And so we have to be efficient in terms of our supply chain, and some of that efficiency is why we're looking at sourcing in the United States.
Thank you. Mr. DeRuiz, and before I get to my question, I want to acknowledge the presence that DSM Firmenich has in the great state of New Jersey and the great work that your company does there. My understanding is your company's New Jersey work relates more to to nutritional products and not to OTC products. But I still want to highlight what you do in New Jersey. I know that many of my colleagues have already asked about how the FDA's approach to the approval of sunscreen filters and ingredients has hindered innovation. However, I want to focus on New Jersey and ask how these actions by the FDA have affected DSM Firmenich's business and to be able to reinvest in other product lines like those in New Jersey.
Yeah. So being from New Jersey, I think we're leading the way, okay? We are the only brave company to stand out amongst everyone else that has decided to take the bull by the horns and do what FDA has required. We paid the user fee. We're the first company to do the OMAR. We are setting the standard and the pace of what's required for public health. And we're pretty proud of that. And I think in everything we do, it's all about the desirable, the obtainable, and the sustainable. And I think that's our company DNA. And as long as we can continue to provide this, as we do for all consumers throughout the United States, being based out of New Jersey, as you said, I think we're doing a service to everyone in the United States.
Okay. Thank you. I yield back.